What's going on, everybody? I thought we would go live today. Got a little bit of an issue over here with the 65. So I figured we would talk about that, and I just hang out with you, and this would suffice for my video that I was going to put out today because, well, I got some work to do, guys. So, like I said, we just hang out, chat a little bit, and then I'll let you know what's going on with this car. It's always something. Guys, I want to remind you, though, keep your head up. Stuff happens, and it's okay. It's all good. You just got to get out here and fix stuff. So, what's going on, Kaboom? So, I'll go ahead and tell you. So, I've been preparing for all the cold weather. Like it's cold everywhere now. Down here in the South, we don't get. I mean, we get some teens and stuff like that. At night whenever it gets really cold during the wintertime, but typically not this early, right? Good morning. Yeah, I figured we'd do a live stream a little earlier today. Maybe we can catch some of you guys that don't usually get to watch a live stream. Maybe some of you are off. But anyway, so I'm winterizing all the cars, right? Let me turn this camera around because I don't want to look at myself. So I'm winterizing all the cars. I come out here, I put antifreeze and everything. And I had a video for you guys on that, and I still may put that out, I don't know, as an additional content tomorrow. But I was going to give you an update on everything that's going on with these cars and some just updates on parts that you guys have been asking about. Well, anyway, I get all this stuff done, and I take some antifreeze, I pour it over in this car because, as you all know, we just kind of got this thing running and didn't have any antifreeze in it. Well, I start the old 65 up, and you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. It is pouring water. Looks like out of the head gasket. Now, we could cry about it. We could get upset about it, but that's all right. This is a very simple car. You guys wanted some carbureted content, a lot of you, right? Well, now we have some carbureted content that we're going to be bringing to the channel because looks like we're going to have to put a head gasket on this thing. And this is what I want to say. This is where carbureted cars excel. This is where they have a leg up on stuff like this. Guys, changing a head gasket on this car, it's the driver's side, by the way. Changing a head gasket on this car is really not that big of a deal. The biggest aggravation is going to be the headers or the header, because I'm not changing both head gaskets. No. This car, I need everybody to understand the way this car, what the idea behind this car was to get it back running the way that it used to be back in the early 80s, mid 80s, and even in the 90s whenever I drove it. So we just want to throw a head gasket on and get this thing back going. I don't know if the cold weather did it or probably the smoky burnouts that we did on the car. So the last time I took it out of the garage, Papa T was over, and I think Andrew and I did another burnout out there in the driveway, and I noticed the car kind of had a misfire to it, but I just brought it on in, no big deal. I figured maybe the carburetor was acting up. Well, I think we got a head gasket, so it is what it is. So what's the weather like for everybody? Let's see here. This thing sucks as far as reading comments, guys. So, oh boy, it's not showing anything. All right, let's get this thing set up over here. Yeah, it's cold here. I think it's, I don't even know what the temperature is right now. -9 with -36 wind chill. Oh, Lord. Love all the Foxes and the 65. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. Is your shop heated? No, it's not. And it is currently, I think, like 27 degrees right now. But, it's kind of warm. I did have the heater on. I have a heater over here, a little diesel heater, but it's too loud to run. So, yeah, it's probably 50 degrees in here right now. Will Work says, good morning, and check my Instagram messages if I can. I will try my best to check them. It's involving cut springs. Okay, yeah. -5 here. I don't know how, I don't know how I'm in short sleeve shirts. Yeah, it's, God, what is it right now? Like I said, it's like 27 degrees, but it's not too bad out here right now. Is it cold out here right now? Kinda, but it's not too bad. So anyway, Bama 5-0, you know what you got to do, brother. They're open today. They're open today. You know what I'm talking about. Going up there and get you one. We met each other yesterday out Christmas shopping. That was pretty funny. 21 in Houston and yeah, I'm loving it too. I mean, it's pretty nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's only so much you can do out here in the really cold, but it's a nice break from freaking 80-degree Christmases around here. That's the way it's been. All right, so let's get back to the car thing. We got a bunch of parts that just came in today for the 65. Now, I told everybody that we were going to focus more on this car for 2023, and we are for sure. But what I meant by that was we've just got to get some freaking work done on this thing. It's come a long way, but at the same time, I've gotten lazy here lately, and you guys know this is my downtime, so I've not done a whole lot. But check this out. We got a big shipment in today from CJ Pony Parts, so I've got to get all this stuff right here put on the car. So what do we have? Well, let's see. We've got a patch panel for the back passenger side of the car. There's one piece back there I've got to do. We've got front and rear bumpers brand new for the 65. I've also got all of my braces up here, my bumper brackets and all that already on. We've got all the new grille assembly up here for the car. That should be in one of these boxes. I'll do an unboxing at some point on that. That may be the video for tomorrow. I'm not sure. Give you guys a little extra content. As far as inside the car goes, really the only thing left to do is finish welding this stuff up on the inside. We have the fender extensions, right? You got to excuse this. This is a great thing about having little girls. They bring everything out. All their clothes are out here. They even got their little toaster over there. Oh, Lord. Bumper extensions, all this stuff. We got our tail lights. So in other words, we've got about everything for this car that we need to put the exterior back together and then start body work. All right. We're going to be working on that. Also, guys, I want you to know that we've got Andrew's car that's going to be coming over. We talked about it last night, and he's waiting to get some time off. As soon as he gets some time off, we're going to get Andrew's car over, and we're going to start working on this thing. I know that right now we've got to put a fuel system in his car, and then we're going to start paint and body work, and then interior. We're going to do interior last on his car. That is absolutely coming up for the channel. I don't know when, maybe in the next week, maybe in the next month. It's starting to get cold out here now. I had to cut my heater off. I had to put my jacket back on. The Calypso is actually running great. I just got to get out, finish breaking in this clutch on this thing. There's no point in even trying to drive any of these cars today. It's entirely too cold and it's dangerous. You look forward to the 65 videos? Good deal. Good deal. Let me get up here where I can read some of your comments, guys. Hold on. All right, let's see. Any advice on removing headliner? The headliner panel above the door isn't moving. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. Sometimes these things get glued in. Your headliner will actually get into your urethane. The remaining Fox Days of Christmas part. Okay, so the wife said that the remaining Fox Days of Christmas parts shipped out today. So everything is shipped out for the Fox Days of Christmas. Getting back to the headliner, your headliner will stick sometimes right up here to the urethane. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about or just above your driver's window, but they're a little forgiving. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you got everything pulled out of the way, it should come on out. Leach came out and tuned my Mustang today here in Tulsa. Great group of guys. Absolutely, man. That's the good thing about those guys. They're knowledgeable and they're very helpful. They're nice guys and they're just fun to be around, man. Any coilover kit that you recommend for my 93 Fox body would be great for a daily driver. A coilover kit is probably going to be about your best option. Here's the thing, though. You really need double adjustable shocks and struts. And the reason why I say that is a single adjustable is only going to be a 50-50 essentially. Whatever you adjust on the rebound is going to give you that on compression. And that is not ideal whenever it comes to coilovers. You want to be able to adjust compression and rebound, in my opinion, but if you must, I will tell you that the Strange 10 ways are great with a coilover kit. As far as spring rate, that's going to depend on what you want to do. I can't remember them off the top of my head. If anybody has a good spring rate for a coilover kit, one that you basically build, let him know down below. I can't remember what I used. Yeah, it's low 50s in Northeast Florida. It's cold, everybody. What's going on? MF Customs in the house. So, Danny, huge shout out to you, man. We got everything shipped out. So, the plug-and-play Holley adapter was a big hit, and somebody is definitely going to get a nice piece of equipment there. So, I appreciate you doing that, man. -8 here. Yeah. Just reading through some comments. Am I going to tuck the bumpers on the 65? No, I'm not going to tuck the bumpers. Guys, right now we're just trying to get this car back together. Like we did mini tubs on it, and that's probably as far as we'll go as customizing the car. I do like the way the tucked bumpers look, but at some point we might, but right now we just got to get this thing going. 19 degrees here. Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas. Yes, you're welcome, Mitch. Maybe somebody can kind of give you some pointers or tips if you're looking for spring rates and things like that. My question that I sent on Instagram was, everything keeps disappearing, was I cut the rear springs 2.5 coils and then cut another half coil off because it wasn't low enough for me. Driver's side is wanting to pop out. What should I do? The driver's side, they're going to pop out. If you get the back end of your car low enough, if you cut your springs to get the back end of your car low enough, more than likely when you jack it up, they're going to want to pop out. The way around that is quad shocks. Quad shocks will help the car from the rear end from not falling as low and then popping out. Also, something else you can do is put your isolators back in. You may have to zip tie them onto the springs, but that's another way. But yeah, when you get the rear of this car low enough, a stock style spring will tend to kind of pop out. So that's nothing crazy, but it sounds to me like you cut a lot off. But that's fine. If you got the right height where you want it, try putting your quad shocks back on. Will they pop out driving? No, they should not pop out driving. I mean, this car is going to have a load on it. Now, it depends on how much you cut. I mean, you could cut them to the point to where your rear end is sitting on the bump stop and it can't compress anymore. I mean, yeah, I guess in theory they could, but hopefully you didn't cut them that low. And also something else you can do is remove the bump stop above your axle or just cut it in two, because you're going to find now that you're going to get a really harsh ride if you bump in, like if you hit a hard bump. Promise 3 coils. Woo, that's a lot, man. Always measure and check clearance. Let's see. No, only 26 in central Utah. Yeah, that cold front's kind of moved past you guys as well, but we got another one coming. So my car is Viking double adjustables. So there you go, right there. 175s up front and 150s in the rear. Full weight GT. There you go, Mitch. Oh, man, we got all kinds of stuff being delivered today. I just see that. I just got my strange struts and UPR coilover kit, just waiting on the weather. Yeah, man, Murphy's Law. That's some good stuff there. 16 in Atlanta. It's 58 in Massachusetts. Wow. I keep the quad shocks on mine. I keep the quad shocks online when I cut my springs. Okay, on mine, that's what you meant. Yeah, so Bama 5-0, he probably already knows where I'm going with this. Here's the deal, guys. Now, people argue against this, but I have tried it, and it works. Our cars, especially if you have stock control arms, when the bushings wear out, your rear end wants to kind of float. The only thing that's holding your rear end in place are the bushings on your factory control arm. So as they start to wear out, you know how our rear ends want to shift to one side or the other, and typically you've got a ½ inch to possibly an inch more sticking out on one side or the other. Your quad shocks will help with that. Maybe that's not exactly what they're designed to do, but they will help. And I've had people argue with me about this, but I have done it many times, and my red car was the same way. So the quad shocks, they help more than what you think. They're going to help dampen the extra spring rate that you have after you cut your springs or put lowering springs on. They're going to help a little bit there, and they're also going to help center your rear end up. I don't know why but every time I mention that, people get pissed off and say that's not what they do, but it helps. How do 2.5 inch coils at the most? But that's including flat top. I don't think. I mean, you should be fine, man, on that, on what you cut off. My red car, the springs will pop out of it when I put it on the lift. So, I mean, they'll just fall out. Like, you can just reach up there and grab them. There's a couple different ways around that. But there again, your quad shocks will help. They still may come out even with quad shocks, though. 23 in Montgomery. Wow, so that's not too far from me. Merry Christmas, everybody. I appreciate that. -6 and -32 wind chill. Wow. How many coils do you usually cut off your springs on your Foxes? It depends. I can't really remember, and I hate to give those numbers out because if you go and you cut yours and it's too much, then, you know, I'm the bad guy. Typically, we start with a coil to a coil and a quarter in the front, I think. I'd say always start with one coil, okay? And then in the rear, you do have to go quite a lot in the rear. Let me see. Let's go up here, guys. Turn you around. We got a car on the lift right now. Okay, so you guys remember, so these are the strange struts I was just talking about right here. They're single adjustable, and as you can see, they still have the coilover kit on them right now. I just took the spring off because I didn't like the way that it popped, and it puts a lot of pressure up here in this hole, and the springs make noises and all that. Okay, so I went back to a coil over here, or to a regular coil spring. Now watch this. Okay, you guys see this? Look, I can move this. Actually tighter than I thought, but I don't know if you can see that, but I can move this spring a little bit right here, okay? So I think the other side is actually a little more loose than that, so it's kind of normal. If you can see right here, I have a zip tie holding the isolator up top. Now, for whatever reason, my red car, those springs will fall out. They'll come right out when I put it on the lift. Trust me, if you grab those springs hard enough, you can just pull them out of this car as well. It's just hard to do with one hand. Yeah, the orange conies are great, man. I like those. My axle bushings were shot. I actually removed the passenger side without any tools. Holy shit. So it's 5 degrees, Mustang Mike says, and -12. Wow, dude, that's cold. I'd imagine it depends on the car. It does. It really depends on if you've got a big speaker box in the back. Maybe you've got a big sub box. Maybe you've got your spare tire. Maybe you don't. It just depends on the weight of the car, how heavy you are as a person. There's a lot of factors. That's why I don't like to put out certain numbers as far as what to cut. I have in the past, but Okay, this is one of the questions that I addressed in the video that I was going to put out today, but now we're not. How's your Vortec V1 race trim holding up? So what we have over here, let's go over here to the car. So this is the T-trim over here on this car. Now, I made a video about this last night. This has been an awesome experience with this Supercharger. No issues. It's a little big for what we need. This engine does not need that big of a supercharger, but you know what? It works great, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the instant power that it makes, and I love the capabilities. We can make so much more power if we want to. If we had, for instance, that dark block in this car, we can make a lot of power. So I love this thing. I think it's overkill, though, for most people. There again, I say this all the time, but remember, guys, I have a YouTube channel that I'm trying to run. I'm trying to show you guys different things. In a normal world, in a normal situation, I wouldn't have put this blower on this car. If I was just a guy that had a Fox body and wanted a Supercharger with a stock block, I wouldn't have done this. I would have put an S trim on this car. But here's the thing. We took a leap of faith. It's essentially, I mean, people have done this many times. But we took a leap. We put this thing on it, and I don't regret it at all. But is it necessary? Absolutely not. It is not necessary for a stock block car. That S trim will split your block, and it's a lot easier to work with. You don't have the Renegade brackets and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's not necessary, but I do absolutely love it. Would you go build T45 or Tremec TKX for 600 ruble horsepower car? TKX all day. I love that transmission, and you know it's going to last. It's expensive, but hell, all transmissions are these days. Save the money up, in my opinion, and buy yourself a TKX. A T45, I mean, I'm not saying they're bad. I just go TKX, man. It's going to give you the same feel as a T5, but it's going to be as strong, almost as strong. I can't say it will be, as like a T56. You're going to be around that same range of power. Some people swear by using isolators on their springs. Does anyone notice any excess noise without them? No, absolutely not. That's a good question, OG. Guys, I hear no noise difference. None, zero, nada by not running isolators. Now, I know there's an argument with metal on metal, and that's what a lot of people. Now, you guys up north, I would probably run isolators. And here's the reason why. You're just asking for trouble with metal on metal. These things rubbing around up there and your springs end up rotting off. I mean, I guess it's going to happen either way more than likely, but you're definitely speeding the process up without isolators because of the metal on metal contact, and you just create areas for rust. Down here, I don't run them because it's just, it gives, I can play with them. I can run them if I want to, but it gives me about 1/4 of an inch of height difference on my car that I can play with. Yeah, TKX is where it's at, man, for sure. MJI, what's going on? MJI, what's my man Isaiah getting for Christmas, man? I know you got him something good. I know he's excited too. I'm a little late to the party. What happened? It's a brisk -8 and -35 here in Indiana today. Fox Life, here's what happened. Let's talk about this. Hope, yes, we will definitely have a good Christmas. I hope you guys do as well, regardless if we get anything or not. We're all together, and it's actually cold for once for Christmas. I know it's a little too cold, but it's cold. All right, so I've had a couple people ask what's going on. I posted, I think the title was like "Man Down." We got a man down right now with the 65. I think we popped a head gasket. If I can get this thing to start, I'll start it up on camera for you, and you guys tell me where it's coming from, because I really don't even know where it's coming from. You want to do that? Let's do that. Let me get you guys turned around. Give me just a second. This is going to be a little awkward until I can get things set up. Let's see where this is coming from down here. Let's see. Oh, that's not going to work. Oop. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Okay, here we go. I don't know if it'll start. It may not start. Battery's probably dead. You guys hold tight just for a second. Let me hook these jumper cables up. Let's see where this thing is leaking. Almost. All right, here we go. Try not to knock you over. Ah, shit. Great. Damn. Fell over. Damn. So did you guys didn't see anything, did you? Here it is. I was trying to get you to where you could see it when I started it up, but damn. Camera fell over right as you said it. Nope. All right, I want you guys to see this. Let's do it again. Let's do this one more time. It won't fall over this time, okay? Y'all can tell me where this is coming from. All right, I think that's good. Let's try it one more time. All right, what we got? Did you see it? I thought it was a freeze plug to start with. Yeah, it's leaking pretty bad. So I guess it's pouring. I've not seen it yet firsthand, but I can go back and watch this live stream and kind of see where it's leaking from. That's pretty bad, guys. Yeah. Jeez. Oh, shit. Hold on. You saw water coming from the back passenger side as well? Did y'all see water from the passenger side too? Yeah, it's wet over here too. Oh, shit. What in the world? It's coming from the engine, yeah. Definitely water. Back of the block. Huh. Think it could be a freeze plug maybe? I hope it's not a freeze plug. The head's easier to change than freeze plugs. Ah, man. Yeah, an Astro T5 is definitely the way to go. I did a T5 swap, but now I can't get my reverse lights working. You need this. Since you did the swap, you're gonna have to have this plug more than likely. I think it's different than an AOD. Let's see, I would see water dripping from the back of the freeze plug on the driver's side head. I don't know, everything's been painted, so I don't know if it's got brass freeze plugs or not. Looks like it's coming from behind the oil pan. Yeah, it's raining under there, so it was pretty bad, wasn't it? And look, a lot of the water's already been pumped out of it. I have those pigtails. There you go. Handling Motorsports has the pigtails if you need it. So if you're asking a question about that, you can head on over to Handling and they will hook you up. Oh, Andrew, did you get the winner on that, by the way? I sent you all that information. I can't remember if you responded or not. I actually sent the email to Donnie B. He's like, wrong person, dude. All right. So, as you can see, whatever's going on underneath here, I think what I'm going to do for right now is going to go. He did. Okay. All right. So, Donnie B got it, and all that stuff's been handled. Or not Donnie B. See, I'm doing it again. Andrew got all the stuff, and that gift card has been taken care of. Huge shout out to all the sponsors for the Fox Days of Christmas, man. That was freaking awesome. I'm telling you, without you guys, we couldn't do what we do. So I really do appreciate it. And I know everybody watching does as well. All right, so here's a plan on this car. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead, drain the radiator, and just let this thing run and pump all the water out of it for now. Because what I don't want is water sitting in the cylinders if that's the case, if it's a head gasket. So I think the best move for me right now, I was going to change the head gasket out today, but I don't think I want to. Typically, I would jump right on this, but it would be one of my Fox bodies. But with this car, we don't drive it anyway. And I could still move it around. Even with a blown head well, you really don't need to do that because you can burn the block. I've done that. But in theory, we could still start this thing up and back it out if we needed to. I can just drain the water out of it. I don't know. We're not putting a Windsor or anything like that in it, or a 351. Let me clarify. Hold on, let's see. Andrew says, and someone already used one of the $100 gift cards to buy themselves a new Pro 5.0 shifter. Cool, good deal. So anyway, that's probably what we're going to do with this car. I'm starting to lose my speech out here. It's getting cold as hell, guys. I'm going to have to wrap it up here in just a second. I'm shaking. But that's probably the deal with the 65, all right? But we are going to jump on this. We're still going to do our body work and all that. Look, check this out. Look at this. Look how freaking simple this is. Let's take a moment to appreciate a carbureted car. See that? Let's walk over here. Which one would you rather have to work on? So it is nice for a change to have a carbureted car here to work on. It's just, everything's so simple. Now, I will tell you this. That is a nightmare to get those headers, to get the bolts on. So that's the only problem. Outside of that, though, no issues. This head should come right off. And I don't know. I may do it today. Who knows? Everybody go hit that like button. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Lamar, what's going on, man? I'm building a 408 stroker, all forged internals, heads. Just called Andrew to order my TKX. That's what's up. You will love that TKX, I promise you. MJI, thank you so much. I don't know if I didn't read what you were getting, Isaiah. I know it's something cool though. Different wheels on the Calypso. We've had these on here for a while, but I will go ahead and tell you guys what we're going to do. We're taking the wheels back off of the Carbon Fox. We're going to put them on the Calypso where they belong, because the Calypso needs those tires, needs the drag radials. I'm going to go back to these. I love these freaking gold wheels on the gray car. So I'm going to go back to those for a little while, street drive this thing a little bit. And we also have the 93 Cobra wheels that we could put on the gray car. I think they'd look pretty good. And I thought about, and I know you guys are not going to like this, but I thought about color matching these black wheels up here, the 03 Cobra wheels, color matching them to the gray car. So carbonized gray on those with like black lug nuts and things like that. I just think it'd look pretty cool. The car would have to sit right, and I know a lot of people would hate it, but I don't know. I want to try it. So I think I very well may paint those to match this car and just roll with that for a little while. What you guys think about that? I have the 17-inch chrome, well, not chrome, but I have the 17-inch pony. So originally, you know, this car was going to be two-toned. So I bought the ponies for this thing, and then after I went solid gray, I just didn't think they would look that good. They've never been bolted on this car since it's been painted, the 17-inch ponies. Are those the Maker's 17s? No, they're just, they're the SVE 17s. They're a beautiful wheel with the finish and everything on them. As you can see, I mean, they have a beautiful, beautiful finish. Yeah, so you guys think we need to try that? Well, I love the black wheels on the car, but so many people hate it, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll put them on there if I want to, but at the same time, it does force me to, you know, try different things. So since most people hate the black wheels on the gray car, I think what we'll do is probably play around with color matching them. I'll probably do 2 of them and then throw them on the car. That way I don't have to redo all 4 if it doesn't look good. And there's a chance it won't look good. You know, in our head, it sounds like, oh yeah, color match, you know, the black tires, the black lug nuts, the center cap, all that should kind of pop and work. But it all really is going to come down to the stance of the car and how well the wheels actually turn out as far as paint goes. But it might turn out pretty good. Anyway, guys, I'm getting cold. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This will be your video for today. I do apologize, but I think me and the family are going to go out. We're going to go eat, and then I got to get back and finish winterizing the camper and everything else. Photoshop it. It's a good idea, actually. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, good idea. So I'll Photoshop this and then coming up days, more than likely, and maybe I'll post it up on Instagram and the community page for you guys and tell me what you think about it. All right, Merry Christmas, everybody. I'll catch you next week, and as always, thanks for watching.